Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is the story about Naruto. What if Naruto mastered Dōjutsu? Part 7. Hope you'll enjoy this video. So before we start, please do support for more awesome content and also hit the subscribe button and share this video with your friends. And also support the creator of this fanfic. I have created many playlists, check it out in the channel. So let's start the video. Lord Hokage, the people you've requested have all arrived. Would you like me to send them in? Asked Naruto's secretary, a very old woman around 65, named Mai, a retired jonin who could still pack a punch, as several civilian council members had figured out firsthand after threatening her to let them into the office. Yes please, thank you male, stated Naruto with a smile. He liked the old woman. She was one of the only supporters he had growing up, and when he heard she was having trouble paying for her house, he gave her the secretary position. Naruto decided to play a trick on his fellow ninja by standing at attention in front of the desk and having Zabuza, who was there to see Haku, sit in the Hokage's chair and wear that hat. One by one, the 7 that were called walked into the office, surprise covering their faces to see the now titled Demon of the Hidden Leaf was their new Hokage. As each member walked up to the desk, they found themselves shaking slightly at the aura of power coming off of the supposed Hokage. Zabuza smirked, though no one could see in due to his mask. Now before you all shit yourselves, no, you're not in trouble. A sigh of relief filled the room. In fact, I'm not even the Hokage. He turned his head to Naruto and said, sir, I believe your chair is of prime temperature. Zabuza got up, tossed the hat to Naruto, and sat down on the couch. His orange booking in his hands before he even made contact with the chair. Naruto caught the hat and slowly and deliberately moved to sit in the chair. Now that you are all here, you should probably know why you have been summoned. Started Naruto, who pulled out a stack of chunin and jounin vest. You've all been promoted. Hold up, Naruto, you're the new Hokage? Questioned Iruka, not believing his eyes. Of course there were rumors going through the village that Naruto was appointed, but then again, there were also rumors that Sasuke was appointed. Yep, voted in by the fire daimyo himself. Now, onto the promotions. Shino Aburam, for keeping a calm head and leading your team during the invasion, along with Dōjutsu and strategies well above the requirement, you're being promoted to Chunin, stated Naruto as he tossed Shino a chunin vest. Shino nodded his thanks and stepped back. Niji Hyuga, stated Naruto as he readjusted himself in his seat, seeing, as I know firsthand how strong you are, I am promoting you to Chunin. However, you will be tested in 4 months to see if you are able to be placed as a special jounin in Dōjutsu and chakra manipulation. My only request is that you drop that fate crap. Thank you Naruto Hokage-sama, stated Niji as he retrieved his new chunin vest. He had figured that because of his rather one-sided loss that he would not be promoted, so this surprised him greatly. You may all still call me Naruto, except during anything mission related and when in front of customers, stated Naruto with a sigh. He would never get used to that sama crap. Sakura Haruno stated to Naruto, you are being promoted on a direct request from the Raikage. Seems he likes your style of fighting, nice headbutt by the way. The Raikage? So I'm being promoted because another leader likes the way I fight? Asked a confused Sakura. That, and everyone else that was judging the exams smiled at Naruto, getting a small smile back from Sakura. Shikamaru Nara Shikamaru, who was spacing out looking at clouds through the giant panoramic window behind Naruto, snapped to attention, you're being promoted to Chunin for your analytical skills, strategies, and overall intelligence. Hopefully this will kick some of that laziness out of you. Troublesome, muttered Shikamaru, who was slapped on the back of the head by Naruto, who only Iruka and Zabuza saw move. Sasuke Uchiha stated to Naruto after sitting back in his chair, you are being promoted for your impressive display of ninjutsu, taijutsu, and kenjutsu. Like Niji, you will also be testing for special jounin in 4 months' time for the aforementioned fields. Haku Mamachi, this time, Haku, who had been standing next to Sasuke, discreetly holding hands, stepped forward. You're being promoted to special jounin. Several battle reports have you, as well as Iruka, as the only reason none of the students were hurt. Your fields of expertise are ninjutsu, taijutsu, and I'm sure soon enough medical jutsu, seeing as Tsunade has requested students to pass down her medical knowledge to. Thank you Hokage-sama, smiled Haku, getting a deadpan look from Naruto. Moving on, Iruka Yamino Iruka stepped forward, not knowing what to expect. Sure, he was probably the strongest chunin in the village, the only ones close were the gate guards, but he didn't want to give up teaching. After reviewing your file, I've decided that you have both the skill and experience to be Jonin. Also, seeing as you are a Jonin and can no longer teach classes, all the members of the room were startled by this. Iruka was one of the best teachers there was, so to see him be denied the ability to teach was almost heartbreaking. You are being promoted to the new Jonin headmaster of the academy. The day after tomorrow we will go over the new academy curriculum," stated Naruto as he tossed Iruka a Jounin vest. "But Taruno is the Jonin headmaster?" stammered Iruka, getting a giggle out of the ninja that had him hot a teacher. "Says here that Taruno has been given a team in the upcoming graduation class, so you are the Jonin headmaster. Plus you're easily qualified for it," stated Naruto. "Are you sure?" "Yes. For the last time, yes. If you want I could just." Hokage-sama. Itachi Uchiha and Kisame Hoshigaki have been spotted in the village. Kakashi Haddock, Asuma Saratobi, and Mito Gai are holding them off, but are not faring well," announced Yamato, who had appeared next to the desk in his full Anbu outfit. "Shit. Tora, Zabuza, let's go. The rest of you, stay here," commanded Naruto as he threw off his cloak, revealing a blue Jonin vest over his black muscle shirt. He had the standard Anbu pants and was wearing black combat sandals. -15 seconds later, Konoha River. Naruto, Yamato, and Zabuza dropped to the river to see Asuma holding off Kisame and Guy going toe-to-toe with Itachi, probably because even Itachi wasn't good enough to try and mess with the green beast's mind. Naruto jumped down in front of Itachi with Yamato, and Zabuza landed in front of Asuma. "You're hurt, and what happened to Kakashi?" questioned Naruto. "I'll answer that, I used Tsukiyomi," answered Itachi in his usual emotionless tone. "Take Kakashi to Tsunade now. Guy, Zabuza, you take Fish Boy, me, and Yamato will take Itachi," commanded Naruto, getting a look of wonder from Itachi. He had heard through the grapevine that Naruto had taken over his spot as captain, but this was the first time he had seen him in true action. "Tell me, Naruto, you're not in Anbu attire, you have no headband on, and yet you're in command? The only person that has that kind of authority is the Hokage? Voted in about 10 days ago actually. Welcome back by the way," smiled Naruto, getting a surprised look from Itachi and Kisame. "So you have grown strong. There is no ninja in this village more befitting than you. But don't you think it odd to welcome an enemy into the village you rule?" questioned Itachi. "It would be weird if you were an enemy, but a little bird told me of a fascinating tale of this young clan heir that was ordered to wipe out his clan. Fascinating story by the way. I really like the part when the young clan heir gets to come home because the new leader of the village had the ones that ordered him to kill his clan were imprisoned for treason." By this point Itachi's eyes were as white as Kakashi's the night he found Naruto drunk in bed with Anko. Ah, that glorious moment when those two old idiots were sent to jail for life and that one-eyed bastard was killed for treason. "Tell me, Naruto, could this fantasy tale be based in truth?" asked a very hopeful Itachi, even though he never showed a hint of emotion. He had always dreamed of coming back to Konoha, but he knew it was just that, a dream. The best stories always are. But even better is that fish face over there. A loud retort from Kisame was heard that can join you. During the Second War, Kiri signed a document allowing Konoha the right to have any nuke nin join our ranks as long as we pay them the bounty on their head. That's how Zabuza is here. "You wish, kid. Why would I join a village when I'm stronger than the village leader?" smirked Kisame. "Like you're stronger than me," laughed Naruto. "Maybe in the art of the sword, but nothing else. If you don't wish to join my village then leave, but don't insult me by claiming you're stronger than me." "You want to go, you little brat?" yelled Kisame. Even though he knew what was said was the truth, he could almost feel the level difference, but he needed to keep his reputation up. "I'd rather not, seeing as Zabuza looks like he wants to be the one to kill you." "No, you may either take my offer or leave my village, that goes for both of you." Itachi looked at Kisame and went back to Naruto. An impassive look on his face until he started to cough up blood. Naruto took this time to act with speed most Jonin would kill for, and his unbelievable control with shadow clones. He was behind both Itachi and Kisame. Itachi was knocked out and taken to an Anbu holding cell by Yamato and Guy. Kisame, however, moved out of the way fast enough to dodge the knockout strike and get into what Zabuza would call a brute stance, all power and speed, no style or grace. "I'll give you one last chance, Kisame. Join us, fight us or leave. You know you're no match for me in anything but Kenjutsu, and Zabuza patch up that little problem." "What do you say?" asked Naruto. Kisame looked over at Naruto His all-black attire and blue Jonin vest somewhat unnerved the Shark Man, simply because if you were to switch the colors, he would look just like the fourth Hokage. He then turned his attention to Zabuza, who surprisingly had yet to say a word. He was dressed in the same black Anbu pants and sandals Naruto was, but had no shirt on, and an unzipped black Jonin vest hung off his shoulders, a white ninja mask, and his headband off to the side was all that remained of his original style. I would love to stay for a good fight, except I know I can't win. I'll choose to retreat for now, and I'll be back with some help to retrieve Itachi. He's much too important to Leader Sama to be left here, and with that, Kisame disappeared in a torrent of water. Until next time, brat. Are you sure it was wise to let him leave? He's going to bring more reinforcements when he comes back, stated Zabuza. As long as he doesn't bring the leader, we should be fine. And by the time he gets back, you six will be ready. Hidden base. So, my not-so-crippled friend decided to visit? I'm truly surprised that you could find the place, but then again, one should never be surprised with men like us, stated Orochimaru, still recovering from the body swap that had been done the morning before. It would be about 2 weeks before he was back to fighting shape, but it was worth it. As always, Orochimaru, your base is as drab and perfectly hidden in plain sight. It's a wonder you were found 12 years ago, commented Danzo, sitting across from the Snake Man. At each man's side was his most trusted servant. On one side was Kabuto, on the other, a pasty white, black-haired boy, apparently named Sai. Seeing as we both hate beating around the bush, what is it exactly that you want? Questioned Orochimaru. He knew Danzo was not one to ask for something straight out, but instead he would hint and pray until he got what he desired. I want that damn brat dead. No one in my route could do it, and if I were to do it, I would most likely lose more than I have. You, on the other hand, have plenty of little minions to spend at any point that you see fit, explained Danzo. Naruto had been a thorn in his side far too long. He should have been Godame, but that fool Hiruzen had appointed the brat on the field of battle. And all this time I thought you always did what was good for Konoha, yet here you are before me, asking to kill a Jinchuriki and the Hokage? I'd have a better chance of beating Jiraiya than that brat, stated Orochimaru, though what he said was true. While Jiraiya was probably still better on experience alone, Naruto was unpredictable and faster and stronger than Orochimaru would probably ever be. The boy is powerful, but not so much that there is nothing to be used against him. We just have to find what those are. Also, you will have the Sharingan when it comes time to kill him, and you will be awarded with Sasuke Uchiha when you succeed. I think that would be more than enough incentive, answered Danzo. If only he knew that Itachi was back in Konoha and that Danzo would never get his hands on any of the Uchiha. What do you gain from this? The curse mark is not worth everything you're giving up, and we both know that you won't even look at a deal unless you come away with more than you started with, so tell me, what is your goal for all of this? Questioned a heated Orochimaru. He had worked with the man enough to know his tendencies. There are times I wished it was Jiraiya that had gone AWOL instead of you. He was always so much easier to convince. I want your body swap jutsu and a capable medic. Kiri. Mei-sama, surely you cannot be serious, shouted an older man with an eye patch and blue hair. And why wouldn't I be out? This could end the war and put us in line to start the rebuilding of Kurigakure, answered a beautiful auburn-haired goddess. You know as well as I do that Konoha will not help us. They were just invaded and have a new Hokage who, from our information, is only 13, challenged Ao. While he couldn't believe a mere 13-year-old could become a Kage, he found it impressive that a line ninja had defeated a Biju. Mei rummaged around in her battle dress, blue dress from manga, and pulled out a scroll. If the Hokage won't help, I know someone from their village that I'm sure would come help in a heartbeat. Who might that be? Asked Ao. Zabuza Mamachi. Konoha Anbu holding cell. Itachi Uchiha, S-rank missing nin, the man who slaughtered his whole clan minus his little brother, was sitting in a holding cell. Though this is not the strange thing, what was strange was that outside the bars that held Itachi in were two small boys who apparently knew who he was. Sitting outside the cell were two 6, almost 7-year-old boys who were observing Itachi in fascination. He doesn't look evil? He has a ponytail. You can't be evil with a ponytail, stated Izumi, who was now wearing a blue and white version of Naruto's old jumpsuit. What are you talking about? You can be evil with a ponytail. Remember that one white-haired guy that hangs around Naruto Nai-san? Asked Shisui, who was wearing a red and black version of Izumi's jumpsuit. He's not evil, he's just a pervert," answered Izumi. "And this guy looks too much like that Sasuke guy that we saw in Nai-san's office." This whole time Itachi was subject to the 6-year-old's discussions. He couldn't help but to think back to when he was a message runner for the Uchiha clan during the last days of the Third Great War along with Shisui. Izumi, Shisui, both children froze mid-argument. "You two aren't annoying Itachi, are you?" "No, Mr. Yamato," both boys called out, making Yamato chuckle. "Good, now go on both of you, go find Hawk, he's training some new recruits with Nico on field 2," stated Yamato with a smile. Both Izumi and Shisui took off like bolt of lightning, not wanting to anger the guy that could make trees. "Hello Yamato, how's Anbu treating you?" asked Itachi. "Was that boy's name Shisui?" "Very well, after all, I've had 3 of the best Anbu captains in Konoha." "What's new with you?" asked Yamato, a little calmly about Itachi's taste. "And yes, we have reason to believe he is Shisui's son." "I'm fine. Why am I here?" "This is a holding cell, not a prison cell, and I don't have any chakra suppressors for my eyes. I could just burn my way out of here if I wanted," answered Itachi. Yamato was surprised he didn't ask more questions about the young Shisui. "Because you no longer have the strongest eyes in Konoha," answered a very familiar voice. "Hello Kakashi-senpai. Does that mean you've unlocked your Mangekyo?" "I had no idea a non-Uchiha could do such a thing," stated Itachi, though he didn't believe what his old captain had said. The only one who could claim stronger eyes than him was Pain. "Yes, I did unlock the Mangekyo, although because I only have one I only got 2 of the legendary abilities instead of the 4 that you have. Though I am not the one whose eyes are stronger, and it's not Sasuke either," added Kakashi, making Itachi whiten his eyes in surprise. "In fact, he just got here." "Hello Itachi," started Naruto in his Hokage voice. "Hello Naruto-kun, it's a pleasure to see you again, though my neck is rather stiff from you knocking me out," stated Itachi in his ever-infuriatingly calm voice. "Itachi, I have a new offer for you. I offer that you return to the village, reactivate at the rank of Elite Jounin, and become a member of an elite group that would be the Konoha equivalent to the 7 Swordsmen of the Mist. Your name will be cleared, the truth will be known, and you will be the hero that you truly deserve to be. Also, I believe that Tsunade can fix whatever's wrong with you," answered Naruto. "I may be alright with a sword, but I am far from a swordsman. Also, the village will never accept me back. I killed the most loved clan in the village," answered Itachi. "No, you're not a swordsman, but your Genjutsu and Fire Jutsu are top of the list, just as Zabuza's Kenjutsu and Water Jutsu are top of the list. And I'm sure that the village would accept and even praise you if I was to say execute the elders for forcing you to kill your clan. It was a mission after all. I have the report in the safe in my office," answered Naruto. After about 5 minutes of silence, Itachi looked up, showing tears on his face for the first time since he left his little brother after killing off the clan. "Are you sure I could come back? Even with all I've done?" "Yes, but there is something I need you to do first, and hopefully it will work out for all of us." Not far away, Saratobi's hospital room. Saratobi opened his eyes for the first time in almost 2 weeks. Immediately, he looked around, too weak to sit up, too weak to even call for someone. He reflected on the events leading up to what he believed was his death. That's odd. Never would have pegged heaven to be such a sterile place. Let's see, Orochimaru summoned both Hashirama and Tobirama-sensei. "We fought until I was able to dislodge the kunai and seal from Tobirama-sensei's head. He told me that Minato and Naruto were direct descendants of him. Who would have thought, though that does explain 1 or 2 things. Then Naruto defeated Shukaku, brought down the barrier, ended the Edo Tensei, and drove off Orochimaru, and I appointed him God. Saratobi sighed. Hell of a last day alive. You don't plan on ending it now, do you sensei? After all me and the brat went through to save you?" Saratobi shot his gaze to the foot of the bed to see his most beloved student, though because he wrote the porn he was so fond of, or because of his hard-working attitude, no one would ever know. "Jiraiya? You're dead too? Did you peek at Tsunade again?" questioned Saratobi. It was a plausible way to die, for Jiraiya at least. Jiraiya just laughed. "Sensei, I'm not dead, and neither are you. In fact, Tsunade and I had dinner last night, and she told me that she would make a full recovery." In an instant, the 67-year-old man was across the room holding his hand around Jiraiya's throat, with Jiraiya about a foot off the ground. "Where am I, and what have you done with Jiraiya?" demanded Saratobi, fire in his eyes. "Damn sensei. All these years, and a poison swore road in your back, and you can still move. You're just like Naruto. Choked out Jiraiya. Sarutobi relaxed his grip, but was still holding Jiraiya about a foot off the ground. Tsunade would only go on a date with you if she lost a bet, Jiraiya nodded, as if to confirm that's what happened. Where's Naruto? I need to tell him something very important. Yelled Sarutobi as he dropped Jiraiya in a heap. Probably in his office, either there or in the mess hall downstairs. The higher-ups of Anbu planned a surprise party for being named the fifth. Stated Jiraiya. Sarutobi deflated slightly. I was hoping to be the one to instate him, just like his great-grandfather instated me. It took about 8 seconds to connect the dots for Jiraiya. But unfortunately, they were no longer the only ones in the room. Sensei, did you just say that my granduncle was Naruto's great-grandfather? Why didn't you ever tell me? Yelled Tsunade. She had just stopped by when she heard Sarutobi yelling about something, and now she was facing the fact that she might have some family left. I learned it from Tobirama-sensei himself when Orochimaru summoned him, and Hashirama-sensei. He said that he had a son that nobody but him and his wife knew about. His son married Minato's mother, but died on a mission before he was born. It seems that the family curse is that the father never gets to meet his son. -6 hours later, Naruto's office. Naruto was surprised to see that Anbu had planned a party for him. It was probably one of the coolest things anyone had done for him, cake, games, and an Anbu version of hide and seek that was surprisingly fun. Now he was back in his office, facing off with a creature more evil than Orochimaru and all the Biju combined paperwork. Though his clones were easily handling the paperwork for him, he still got the backlash from the clones when they dispelled. So he took the offer, but why did add those stipulations? Asked Kakashi. In the office were Kakashi, Guy, Naruto, Zabuza, Shizune, and Asuma. What other stipulations? Asked Guy. Were they youthful? Well, he didn't want his return announced, even though he was being cleared of all charges and being removed from the bingo book. He wants to be Sasuke's mentor, and he wants to live in either the tower in the Forest of Death or in a normal home on the outside of the village. Explained Naruto. Well, those are all easy enough. But what did he say about being a member of the group? Questioned Zabuza. Same as the others, he'll join, but he doesn't want it announced right away. Also, I have my doubts that Sasuke will want anything to do with his brother. Stated Kakashi. Why am I here again? Asked Shizune, who had been silent during the meeting. Oh, yay. Shizune, I almost forgot about you. Shizune looked like she was ready to castrate Naruto after that comment. What do you see in this room? Asked Naruto. Shizune looked around, only seeing the 5 other ninjas. Zabuza, Kakashi, Guy, and Asuma? Nope, a type, Ken, Nin, and weapons user. Also, an earth, wind, water, and lightning user. Now what's missing? Questioned Naruto. Genjutsu, fire, and medicine? Stated Shizune. Now, what if we added Itachi to this room and you counted yourself? There would be every type. Stated Shizune, still not understanding where he was going with this. Yep, a strike force that could go into any situation versus any enemy and always have the advantage. And a medic that rivals even the great Tsunade. What do you all say? Wanna be Konoha's ultimate team? Next day. Naruto had once again pulled an all-nighter. While his clones had done paperwork, he had been catching up with Itachi, and now he had a meeting with the old man. He had finally woken up yesterday and apparently needed to see him about some things, not that he minded, he was actually rather happy that he got to see him. Knock knock. Enter. Thank you for seeing me, Hokage-sama. You've grown stronger, Itachi. I'm glad being on the run hasn't hurt your skills. Stated Kakashi, who along with Guy, Asuma, and Shizune were all on Anbu training ground 4. Zabuza had a mission of some kind. Yes, it is good to see one so well versed in Dōjutsu. I still cannot believe our elders would force such a situation on you. But may I ask, why is it that you don't use the interceptor style? Surely with eyes as strong as yours, you could be on a level with me easily? Questioned the enigma that is Guy. Itachi wondered if Guy had always been so loud. Because my vision is slowly failing. The cost of the Mangekyo, other than having to kill your best friend, is that the more you use it, the worse your eyesight becomes until they lose all their light. The only way around this would be for Sasuke to unlock his, and for me to implant his eyes into me. That is why every skill I have can be used while blind. Explained Itachi, though Guy and Asuma didn't see the significance of this. So all we have to do is awaken his Mangekyo, and then you two swap eyes? Couldn't you do that awakening thing with some really powerful genjutsu? I was stuck in one once where I had thought I killed the Guardian 12 and was the only one left. If it wasn't for Kurenai, I would probably still think it was me who did it. Stated Asuma, thinking back to that time, he remembered how the two had first met. The light bulb going off in Itachi's head was almost visible. First a look of confusion, the thought, then astonishment. What do you mean, swap eyes? You know, you put in his, and he puts in yours. I know, and I can only be implanted once before it starts to adapt. Is there some reason that it wouldn't work that way? Questioned Kakashi. He knew of the one transfer limit because his teammate in Anbu had once lost an eye and the only one available was that of an enemy that had died. No, there isn't, Kakashi. When is your next team meeting? Hokage's office. Thank you for seeing me, Hokage-sama. Earth style. Spear Dragon Jutsu. Naruto dove out of the way of the beer-anked dragon, the window behind his desk exploding outward. Naruto fled out the window to the roof of the tower, followed closely by his attacker. What the hell, old man? Questioned Naruto. It wasn't every day that Naruto was attacked by his grandfather figure. Just a little spar, Hokage-sama. I have to make sure that I appointed someone of skill, laughed Sarutobi. Ever since his fight with Orochimaru, he had found his old will of fire burning strong once again. If that's what you want, old man, but should know I don't plan on holding back. Smiled Naruto as he flashed through hand signs faster than even Sarutobi had ever seen. Uzumaki style. Wine Dragon. Fire style. Triple Fire Dragon Barrage, shouted Sarutobi. The three fire dragons overtook Naruto's Wind Dragon. Water style. Great Tsunami. In an awe-inspiring display of water manipulation, Naruto pulled almost all of the water out of the air and put it all into one S-ranked attack. The wind-charged fire dragon was no match for the wall of water that Naruto had summoned to the roof of the Hokage Tower. With Anbu, next roof over. Such power, these two men could destroy a whole village by themselves. Stated Hawk in awe, he of course knew that they were powerful, one was the god of shinobi, and one was known as the Biju Killer. I know what you mean, these two will be legends, unerasable markers in time. Stated Boar. Ha, just wait for the true combo attacks. That's both their specialties after all. Stated Yamato. Back to Naruto versus Hizurin. Hey old man. I think I have a great idea to help out the village, yelled Naruto as he threw a kunai covered with wind chakra to pierce an earth wall that Sarutobi had made to counter the massive wave of water crashing his way. And what would that be? Questioned Sarutobi as he broke apart his earth wall and sent it flying at Naruto. In the next 3 or 4 months, we will hold a big showing of all our strongest ninjas. We can hold it in the arena and invite all the demos and other clients to it. The main event would be me versus you, stated Naruto as he put his hands down, showing his want for a break in their fight. Think about it. The god of shinobi versus Konoha's Biju Killer would attract quite a few new customers, wouldn't it? We could have Tsunade and Jiraiya vs Guy, Kakashi, and Asuma. Zabuza versus Itachi? I must admit, Naruto, that would be an incredible match list, and it would be sure to draw a crowd and a whole new list of clients. Stated Sarutobi. A pondering look played on his face. But before we do anything else, I have one final mission for you. Meet me in 2 hours on Training Ground Zero. And bring the scrolls from all 4 Hokage vaults. Why? Wouldn't it be safer to do it in the bunker? Questioned Naruto. Not for what we will be doing. Smiled Sarutobi before he disappeared in a flash of fire. Damn old man, if you're this full of energy now, I'd like to see you in your prime. Naruto turned to head to the Namikaze estate. A smile slowly formed on his face. Maybe I still can. Namikaze estate. Run Azumi. Or Mr. Zabuza is going to get you, shouted Shisui. He and Azumi had finally pulled down Zabuza's mask after about a week of trying. Now they were running for their lives. Shut up, Shisui. You may be faster than me, but I'm stronger, shouted back Azumi just as Zabuza picked him up by palming his head. On his other hand was Shisui, being held the same way. You gakas are fast, I'll give you that. Laughed Zabuza, slightly scaring the children. But seriously, who taught you to jutsu? My mommy, sniffed Shisui. Zabuza instantly felt bad, seeing as Kamiro was a good woman, a little messed up in the head, but it was obvious that the boy missed her. Mr. Turtle, stated Azumi cheerfully. The turtle had given him a D-rank water jutsu for practicing his water style, and Azumi had been using it at every opportunity he could get. How would you two like to train with me for a day? Asked Zabuza, He was startled with how much he enjoyed playing and training with the boys. It was almost scary to him. Before either kid got to say yes, Naruto, who had just got home to see Zabuza palming the two 6-year-olds, answered for them, "Oh hell no. I know how you train Zabuza, and there's no way in hell I'm letting you torture these two. Why are you wet?" Zabuza just sat the boys down and mumbled out, "These damn kids both know a few jutsu. Azumi here knows water style, pressure palm, and Shisui knows some weird shunshin I've never seen before." "Shisui, can you show me?" asked Naruto. He knew that Shisui Sr. had his own shunshin that was much faster and used a greater control over the chakra usage, but even Kakashi could never get the right combination. Shisui nodded eagerly and in a burst of speed was next to Naruto. "Was that good, Naruto Nai?" "Yay, very nicely," praising Naruto. "That's Shisui's. His mother must have taught him." "Oh, these kids are going to be about 2 years old before they're genin. Still need to find a suitable third member for them. Guess I'll just have to wait on that one," thought Naruto. "Zabuza, I'm gonna be having an all-day meeting, so I need you or Haku to watch these two, unless Shizune is home, and don't teach them any more nin, gen, or kenjutsu. If they want to train, get their bodies up to peak before they even see a kata, that way we can see what they're best at." "Yay, yay. Don't worry. I raised Haku fine, didn't I?" stated Zabuza. He realized how bad that sounded, considering the whole freeze your balls off thing. "I'm not even going to touch that one Shisui, Azumi." Both boys looked at their idol big brother with total attention. "If you two really want to be ninja, do everything that Zabuza says. Whether you know it or not, he's one of the strongest in the village." Both kids went wide-eyed. They were going to train with a strong guy. "Okay, Nai-chan. We'll do what he said, but what about school? It starts next week, can we still train with Zabuza then?" questioned Azumi. "Yay, and can we train with you too, Nai-chan? You're the strongest in the whole world," claimed Shisui. "I'm not the strongest in the world, I would have to say that the Raikage is the strongest and probably the fastest. Or maybe the Tsuchikage. And I'm sorry guys, once you're in the academy, I can't train you because it would show favoritism," explained Naruto. On the inside he was laughing. It was funny that they wanted to train with him, and most likely, he would be their Jounin sensei. "So can you train us until we get into the academy? Or after we graduate?" asked Shisui, puppy dog eyes on full effect. Naruto almost laughed at a look that, if it was on his father's face, would have scared the shit out of him. "Yes. You could be our Jounin sensei thing, that Mr. Kakashi told us about it," claimed the ever full of energy Azumi. "I'll tell you what, if you two work hard enough, I'll be your Jounin sensei, but you're going to have to give it your all." Bridge. Sakura and Sasuke were waiting for Kakashi on the bridge. They were told that in the sense that they were both promoted, they would stay teamed. For a while at least, until they were either apprenticed or assigned to a task force. "Yo. You're late again, Kakashi, what's this all about?" asked Sasuke. "I'm here to tell you that you are no longer my students. Sasuke, you've been assigned a master, you have to pass his test, but it should be easy for you, I believe he's waiting for you at your home. Sakura, you have a choice between being part of the new medic program headed by Tsunade Haim, or to be assigned to a Chunin team. If you did that you would probably train in Tai and Genjutsu," explained Kakashi, "and, as a parting gift, I made you both scrolls with a couple of the elemental jutsu I've copied over the years." And with that, he was gone. "Well then I guess that I should go meet with Tsunade-sama, see you later Sasuke," stated Sakura, who then turned and walked away. "Yay, see ya Sakura," said Sasuke as he turned to head home. "I wonder who it will be, Zabuza? Nah, he already has Haku as an apprentice." Hidden base. "How is Kamimuro doing?" questioned Orochimaru. "He's stabilized, though we will have to see if the lung transplant will remain problem-free," answered Kabuto. Clipboard in hand and glasses on the tip of his nose. "Good, did the illness spread at all?" asked the snake charmer. "As far as I could tell, no, but I'm going to be running tests next week to make sure." "Sir, if I may ask, why are you planning using Kamimuro body when we will have Sasuke's soon enough?" asked Kabuto. "How unlike you, Kabuto. You know, as well as I, that I will need to train to beat the brat, no matter the body I inhabit. That's where Kamimuro comes in. With his ability to grow new bones and your medical prowess, his body will be able to easily last twice the normal amount of time that the average body would, plus I will have the Sharingan eyes that Danzo left as a sign of goodwill." You can only transplant eyes once, and I will not waste them on a body that only has a 2.5-year prime. I understand that Orochimaru is Sama, but why are you switching so soon? It has only been a few weeks, and that body was the strongest we had. Because I want that brat dead as soon as possible, and the only way I can achieve that is with a body that is near indestructible. Kumo. B. Stop raping, shouted Yugito. Oh, why would I miss too? Is it aggravating you? Questioned Bed. B. Could you be normal for 5 minutes please? This involves both of you. And stop flirting with Yugito. It's weird having my adopted brother hit on my adoptive sister. Stated A. Come on brokerage, it ain't like that. I'm not after the cat. Besides, our little bundle of rage is attracted to Konoha's golden sage. Rapped B, getting a huge blush from Yugito. Yugito didn't know whether to hit the B or blush, so she did both. I do not like him like that. It's just that. You get hot when you see him trot? Questioned B, who was again punched by a furiously blushing Yugito. B, just don't talk anymore until I say, and Yugito, don't worry, we're heading back there next week to finalize the alliance with them. Now why I've called you both in here is because you will both be taking a genin team as co-senseis. Wave. A beautiful Redeed stepped off a rather run-down looking boat onto the docks of the now bustling Wave country. Wow, and here I thought that Wave was a dump? Oh it was. But then our savior arrived and helped us turn it around. Now we're strong enough to train our own ninjas, though that's only because our savior lent us some money to start up a program. Even sending some ninjas of his own to help train the new trainees, stated a dockhand, a man that looked about 30 or 35 years old. And who, pray tell, is this man that helped this place out? Asked Ao, stepping up next to Mei. His name is Naruto Uzumaki, but there are some rumors going around that he made a bigger name for himself during some battle in Konoha. I've overheard a couple that seem to be outrageous, but anything is possible for that young man. As for why he's so revered here, is because he and a man named Zabuza killed all the bandits and set us free of that wretched Gato, claimed another dockhand, a man that was obviously at some point a ninja, if the multiple scars and the way he moved were any indication. Last I heard of him, he was being called Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. What's he look like? A man like that I might just have to nab him up myself, giggled Mei, getting a deep sigh from Ao. He himself had no want to marry to the woman, but he knew that whoever did would be as whipped as a steady pulling a cart. There's a statue of him in the town square. He asked us to remove it, saying it was a team effort, but it still stands. Answered the older man honestly. Naruto Uzumaki, huh? I've heard of him. What nicknames does he have? Question Ao. Not a lot of people knew, but Ao was a fan of Minato. They first met on the battlefield during the Third Great War, so hearing a man with the same last name, he found his interest piqued. Konoha's golden sage, the Biju killer, hero of Wave, all kinds of stuff. He was actually here about 2 weeks ago, had some business with old man Tazuna, and ended up adopting 2 orphan kids he found in the streets. I got to meet him, real down to earth about everything. Answered the younger one, obvious admiration in his voice. Both Ao and Mei were slack-jawed. Biju killer? Golden sage? The kid was a sage? Where the hell was Konoha getting these people? Thank you for your time, I must be off. Answered Mei, slightly drooling over the prospect of such a strong and apparently kind man waiting in Konoha. With any luck, she would get to meet him and maybe get a dinner out of it. Strong, check. Famous, check. Good with kids, apparently check. Down to earth, check. I hope he isn't taken with Naruto. Achoo, sneezed Naruto. Huh, someone must be thinking of me, he said quietly to himself. Then he shuddered. Hope it isn't Ino again. Suna. You're what? Was Gaara's intelligent reaction. We've voted you the Godame Kazukiage. Answered the Wind Daimyo, a rather tall and lanky man. Why me? I'm just starting to like this village, and I'm just a genin. Stated Gaara in his odd emotionless tone. Gaara, please just shut up and take the hat? Asked Tamari. She loved her brother, but he was much too hard on himself. You're the strongest ninja in the village, and you can control sand. The very thing that most of our village is made of. I accept on one condition, stated Gaara. And what condition is that? Asked a nameless councilman. I want Baki to give me back my cookies. Stated Gaara in a completely serious voice. The whole room looked to Baki, only to see him about to consume a plate of cookies that Gaara had been getting from the Hyuga heiress in Konoha. No. These cookies are better than sex. Cried out Baki as he moved to consume a cookie, only to be tackled out of his seat by a pissed-off Gaara. "Give me the precious," shouted Gaara as he tried to strangle the Jonin. "No!" screeched back Baki, holding Gaara an arm's length away while they struggled for the upper hand. The rest of the room was just staring in wonder at how the two strongest ninja in the village were fighting over a plate of cookies. "The precious thing is mine. She made them for me," called out Gaara while finally managing to succeed in choking Baki. "Fine. Just give me one," requested Baki while his windpipe was being crushed. Gaara nodded and removed himself from his Jounin sensei. He then walked over to the table and picked up the somehow unharmed tray of sugary goodness. "If this is all, I will be in my new office, eating my cookies." And with that, Gaara left the room. What the hell could be in those cookies to make Gaara of all people act like that? Questioned Tamari. "Hyuga compound. Lady Hinata? Did you make anything with this?" asked a branch Hyuga, holding up what looked like a bag of sugar. "Yes, I made cookies for Gaara-kun. Why do you ask?" questioned Hinata. "Lady Hinata, this isn't normal sugar. It's a special blend of sugarcane and herbs from the land of sugar. It's 10 times stronger and highly addictive." Uchiha District. Sasuke had just made it back to his house, even though he no longer used it as a reminder to kill Itachi. He still lived here to honor his family. "Kasen, I'm home," said Sasuke fondly, remembering the days he would come home and she would have lunch or supper waiting for him. "Sorry little brother, just me," said a voice behind him, a voice so infuriatingly calm it could only belong to one person. Sasuke turned around to see Itachi standing in the corner of the kitchen, making a ham sandwich with a side of Pocky. "What the hell are you doing here? I'm your new sensei, but first, you're going to have to kill the one you hold closest to your heart," stated Itachi, taking a bite out of his sandwich. "I believe her name is Haku." Sasuke turned to see Haku, bound and gagged in the middle of the floor. "You're more twisted than I thought. I'd sooner kill myself than harm her." "I know, but unfortunately for you don't have a choice," stated Itachi, as he finally looked up, locking eyes with Sasuke. "I control you now, slit her throat." "Iwa. Sir, a news report just came in. Seems Hizuran Sarutobi is alive," stated an Iwa Anbu. "Good to hear. I'm no longer the oldest Kage," smiled Inoki. "Actually sir, it seems the one our spies saw in the Hokage office is Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. They have yet to announce who the new Kage is, but he seems to be on the top of the list." "Shit, at least, if Hizuran was still in office we could attack, but that boy is just too much. I could beat him, but Konoha has too many strong ninjas to attack with him in charge. Contact the Raikage, see if he will have a meeting with us," stated Inoki. He knew just how strong Naruto was. He was the only man to fight both Madara Uchiha and Jiraiya the Sannin. He barely survived both encounters. Naruto was stronger than Jiraiya when it came to pure power. Even his dust release would have trouble with him, plus he was a Jinchuriki, so he had a near limitless supply of chakra to use. "Actually sir, it seems that both Suna and Kumo have tied into Konoha. Our spies in both Kumo and Suna show that they're trying for political marriages," said the messenger. "Son of a bitch." Training Ground Zero. Naruto appeared in a flash on Training Ground Zero. It had been about 2 days since his clones finally finished his Hiraishin seal, with the help of Minato every night of course, and he had already marked all his key spots. He was a long time away from being able to use it in battle, but he didn't really need it. It was more of a convenience for him than anything else. Standing dead center of the field was Sarutobi. At his feet were 4 dead bodies, the bodies of the Sound 4. "Gigi, what are they doing here? And why the hell did we need to do this here?" asked Naruto. "Naruto, what do you know of the Jutsu Ito Tensai? Lord Danzo, what are we to do until Orochimaru kills the Kyuubi vessel?" questioned a nameless root operative. Thinking for a moment, Danzo said, "All but the top 10, train. I want you all high Jonin by the time of our attack. I want the top 10 to go to all the smaller villages and take any strong children you can find. I will need an army at least 3 times the size of what we have now." "Yes my lord," answered the root, who then flickered out of existence. "Soon, very soon the brat will be dead and I will be Hokage. Then I will take over the whole of the elemental nations." Training Ground Zero. "Naruto, what do you know of Jutsu Ito Tensai?" asked Sarutobi, his face a myriad of emotions. "It can bring back people from the dead, but only if their soul resides in the pure world, so if a soul is sealed, it doesn't work. You can use a dead body or a live body, but it's much stronger with a living sacrifice, and the Nidaime Hokage invented it," answered Naruto. "Good, now, when I was fighting Tobirama-sensei, He told me to bring back him and his brother, the first Hokage, to speak with you. The reason there are 4 bodies here is because I know of one other man who I'm sure would love to meet you, and I believe one that can help you a great deal," stated Sarutobi as he handed Naruto a small scroll. "These are the hand seals for the jutsu. The reason I had you bring the scrolls from the vaults is because they hold 2 of the people you are going to summon." "Okay, old man, but I don't feel right about this," answered Naruto as he flew through Hand Seal's impure world resurrection. "Uchiha compound. I won't do it. I'll kill myself before I harm her," shouted Sasuke once again in defiance. "It's a useless, foolish little brother. You've made eye contact, now your will is mine, thanks to a very old Uchiha technique, one that no longer has a name. You're my puppet now, and you will kill Haku, Naruto, and then when you have eyes like mine, I will kill you and take them as my spares," droned out Itachi, all while eating his sandwich. This wasn't the man who killed his clan. This was a monster of even greater stature than the Kyuubi. Sasuke was about to retort, only to find him moving on his own towards Haku. He was horrified to feel himself pull a kunai out of the holster on his leg and bring it up as his body was forcefully pushed towards the girl he had come to love. No, Haku. Please move." "She can't move, she can't speak, but she can see and she can feel," answered Itachi, now standing beside Sasuke. "Her last sight as she leaves this earth will be the man that loves her, slicing into her throat." "Haku. Please move. Run, and get help," shouted Sasuke, his face covered in the salty water pouring from his eyes. His hand rose, no matter how hard he fought to disobey, it was useless. Sasuke positioned the tip of the kunai at Haku's jugular. His hand shaking as he locked eyes with Haku, only to see pure fear and disbelief looking back into his eyes. "Haku, I'm so sorry. I love you, see you in the next life." Sketch. He had done it. He just killed the woman he loved, Haku. He cried out, "Why her?" he demanded of Itachi. Itachi, though, was awestruck by Sasuke's new eyes. Training Ground Zero. 2 coffins slowly rose side by side at Naruto's feet, followed by one on their left and one on their right. As all 4 coffins slowly came to the apex of their travel skyward, the lids began to fall, one by one. "Good to see you again, Saru." "And where is that kid that used the wind attack to reverse Ito Tensei?" questioned Hashirama. "Yes, quite the feat to wipe out an earth jutsu with a wind jutsu. Nobody but my great-grandson could have done it," smiled Tobirama. "Oh, toot your own horn some more, Tobirama. He's my great-grandson, as well as yours," said a short man in a red long-sleeve shirt and combat pants combo with black armor. "Tamaki? Good lord, you're old," stated Hashirama. Tamaki was actually a cousin of his late wife Mito and was the village leader during the same time he was Hokage. "Could still kick both your asses. Need I remind you just who it was that won that little battle between us, Hashi?" retorted Tamaki. "Besides, it's not like I was that old when I died. You old crone. You were one of the oldest living Uzumaki. Besides, you know full well that I could take you on in your old age, maybe not your prime, but definitely now. And why the hell am I here? As far as I can tell, this is a Senju Uzumaki reunion?" Came the last man, long black hair, his left eye being covered, red plate armor, and most notable of all, red eyes that seemed to radiate power. The man was Madara Uchiha. "Madara Uchiha? Why would your DNA be in the Hokage vaults?" questioned Naruto, still baffled by the array of dead shinobi. "Who do we have here? You seem quite young, but the power rolling off you and the look you hold tells me that you know the true horrors of the ninja world. Who might you be?" questioned Madara. "Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. The god-aim Hokage and the only man to truly defeat a Biju," answered Naruto, staring Madara in the eyes the whole time. "Now, tell me who you are." "Foolish boy. No man can defeat a Biju. Not even I or Hashirama could do such a thing. And you already know who I am. Why ask again?" questioned Madara. The 4 other shinobi were watching the confrontation with 100% focus. "Ask Tobirama-sama. He saw me do it, also, Madara-sama, why do you hide what you gained after your battle with Hashirama-sama? Do you feel that it was I'll get, just like the eyes you stole from your brother?" questioned Naruto. "How did you know about this? Even Tobirama isn't that good of a censor, and I'm sure it wasn't written down by Madara. Because Madara-sama, I can tell you're feeling no strain from your eternal manjutsu, and I can feel that you're suppressing your eyes. There are only 2 Dōjutsu stronger than the M's, and I know you don't have one of them, which only leaves the Rinnegan. stated Naruto. So you've unlocked the Uzumaki Royal Kekkei Genkai? I'm proud of you, my boy. What level have you obtained? Questioned Maki. 4. I don't think I will ever unlock 5, but for now, it's more than enough. Now can we skip the rest of these petty comments and get to the real reason you're all here? Jiji? Asked Naruto. I asked the monkey to bring me here so I could meet you. As I said before, your great-grandson, Maki, is here because he is also your great-grandfather. I wanted Hashi here to rub his nose in it. I had 2 descendants make it to Hokage, and he has 0 cheered for Tobirama, Naruto no longer finding it hard to believe they were related. Cool, but why is Madara-sama here? Asked Naruto. Why do you insist on calling me that? You hold a higher stature than I ever did, truthfully I find it annoying. Questioned Madara. Because I respect you, as a powerful shinobi. And even though most don't believe it, I know that your brother gave you his eyes after you lost yours. I don't even care if you went missing. Stated Naruto. Nice to know, now why am I here? Surely it's not just to meet you, I know you're more intelligent than that, seeing as I can tell you have the power to beat any one of us. Also, you're the direct descendants of 2 of the most powerful and intelligent shinobi of my time, so it's obvious to me, there's some ulterior motive here. Stated Madara. There is, stated Sarutobi, there's something big coming, and I want Naruto to be as prepared as possible. You are 4 of the strongest shinobi to ever walk the earth. I was wondering if you all could train Naruto here? Questioned Sarutobi. I'd love to. It should be fun, and anyways, I've got nothing better to do. Answered Tobirama with a grin. Can't let Tobirama have all the fun with our discontent, so it's a yes for me, answered Maki. Well, I guess I could, no harm in it, right? Stated Hashirama. I refuse to train as Senju or Uzumaki. But I will spar with Madara with a smirk. 2 days later. Naruto? Wake up, yelled Sarutobi. After the day of training with shadow clones and saying his goodbyes, he released Ito Tensai. Ever since then he was either sleeping or working, usually at the same time. What is Jiji? Asked Naruto, head on his desk, clones around him doing the paperwork. Smack! Screamed Naruto after Sarutobi laid a chakra-enhanced 5-star on his back. Naruto finally looked up after the pain receded and saw an older man with blue hair and an eye patch. Besides, said the man was the most beautiful woman he had ever laid eyes on. Sandaime-sama? Why is a child in your seat? Questioned Ao. Before Naruto could give a response, Sarutobi supplied one himself. Because this child, as you called him, could kick my old ass any day of the week, and he is my successor. Nice to meet you both. Judging from your attire, I would guess that you're from Kiri and not the anti-bloodline side. Please, take a seat. Stated Naruto in a tone that, while very inviting, told both ninja you fuck with me, you die. Thank you for stating the redeed kindly, after all, it was obvious that this boy was the hero of the wave, which would mean that he was the one that defeated Abiju, which would mean that May wanted him as a husband. I am May Terrarium, leader of the rebels of Kiri, and this is Ao, my second in command. The Ao? Kiri's number 1 hunter nin? Questioned Naruto. I've heard a lot about you, and I must say I'm impressed. Thank you, Hokage-sama, I must say it is refreshing to see one as young as you respect their elders, not many do. Smiled Ao, he liked this kid. I know what you mean, my kids at home are still in the stage of not listening to me when they don't want to. Smirked Naruto right back. You have kids, all, but shouted May, somehow forgetting the story of how Naruto adopted 2 boys from the waves. Yep, Shisui and Azumi. Stated Naruto, he turned a picture frame to show a half-assed family portrait of 6 people. 2 of them obviously not related, seeing as they were copycats Kakashi and Zabuza. The other 4 were Naruto 2 boys that looked nothing alike and a woman about Naruto's age that was between the 2 boys. Zabuza? You got him to take a picture? Questioned Ao. The hunter nin had heard rumors that the only person to get him on film was his late wife. May, however, was almost in tears. In the picture, a little boy with dark red hair and a bright smile on his face caught her eye. It was Shisui, her dead nephew. Shisui, but how? Hey brat. The kids want something to do. Should we make them do AD rank? Trailed off by Zabuza. Mr. Zabuza? Are you alright? Mr. Zabuza asked the 7-year-old brunette, Azumi. He's fine. He's a strong member? Said another little boy, this one with messy dark red hair and red eyes activated. In a move that even Naruto barely saw, May had moved across the room and swept the young redhead up into a huge hug. "Shisui. You're alive. Thank God you're alive," cried Mei happily. Naruto turned to Ao, silently asking for an explanation. Ao responded, "That's her nephew. We thought he died with his mother fighting off the bloodline haters." 2 hours later. "Well, Mei, I understand your predicament, but I believe we should let Shisui decide. No matter his choice, the others will be able to visit him whenever they wish," states Naruto. Mei nodded. "I want to stay with you, Naruto Nai. That way I can stay by my friends and be a really strong ninja just like you and Zabuza," stated Shisui from his spot on the couch. Well, now that is settled, Naruto thought for a minute, then a vicious smirk came across his face. He pushed the intercom button. Clear my next 2 meetings please?" "Right away, sir." "Hawk, Boar," called out Naruto. The two dropped on either side of Mei and Ao. "Bring meet Tsunade, Shizune, Kakashi, Guy, Asuma, Itachi, and Jiraiya." Naruto glanced at Mei, who gave him a flirtatious wink. "Blindfold Jiraiya." "Yes sir," they said in creepy unison. "Why would you blindfold Jiraiya-sama?" asked Mei. "To put it nicely, you're much too beautiful to be seen by my super pervert of a godfather, Naruto." Mei blushed slightly at the beautiful part. Saratobi gave a perverse giggle, thinking about Mei and Jiraiya's next book. "Old man, I will hurt you if you continue that line of thinking. Stupid SS-level brats, too smart and strong for their own good," mumbled Saratobi. "Is every strong ninja from Konoha messed up in some way?" Mei asked Ao quietly. "Wait till you meet Guy," laughed Naruto. -15 minutes later. "Are you sure?" "Yay, we need to test out some things anyway, and you can never have enough experience," answered Naruto. But this answered Ao, as he motioned to the 7 shinobi assembled. "These are 7 of your strongest ninjas, plus yourself. I'm not saying that we don't like the offer, far from it actually. But I must say, you would be leaving yourselves completely vulnerable. Nah, Jiraiya and Saratobi will still be here, plus if there's any danger here I can just Hirishin back here. Besides, Suna is always a day away, Kumo is no longer a threat, Orochimaru is a non-factor right now, and Iwa is still suffering from my father," stated Naruto. "Well, as leader of the rebels, I humbly accept your support." Hidden base. "Bullshit. No fucking way some punk-ass brat could capture Itachi," yelled a silver-haired man. "Shut up, Haiden, it's obvious the boy is strong, plus if the reports are correct, he's a high-level Jinchuriki, meaning that Genjutsu would have a difficult time working with him," stated a large tan-skinned man with a skull cap and mask on. "Quiet. Kisum, is it true that Itachi was captured by the Kyuubi vessel?" questioned the leader. "Yes, Pain-sama. He broke through one of Itachi's illusions like it was nothing and had him subdued in nanoseconds. He's every bit as fast as the rumors make him out to be, maybe even on par with the Yellow Flash," stated Kisum. "I see. Then we will have to step up our preparations. Itachi is lost to us, as even if he does escape he will be a liability. We will need a new member, as well as all of us getting stronger. Train and make money, meet back here in 2.5 years. "So Sasuke has some weird manjutsu, huh?" asked Naruto, a contradicting look on his face. He was glad that Konoha may gain a valuable tool, though he was slightly apprehensive as to what this new eye may do. "Yes, as far as I know, all manjutsu other than Shisui's had 3 points or a pattern of 3. Shisui was 4, and he was able to control people with his. Sasuke's has 6 points. We will have to wait to see if he has any extra abilities," stated Itachi. "Shit, and I wanted him to get some battle experience. Okay, for now, it will be you, Zabuza, and Shizune going with Mei. Once you get there, I'll use Hirasian, and we'll see what the plan is from there. I'll bring people too, and from Kiri, so that you are always fresh," stated Naruto. "It's a solid plan, Gaki, but there's a problem with it. Even with at least one of them here at all times, if Iwa gets wind of this, it could turn ugly," stated Jiraiya. "It doesn't matter if they do, you and Jiji will be here, plus Tsunade will only spend a week or 2 max there to train new medical ninja. And I will be here at a moment's notice," stated Naruto. "Alright, Gaki, but make sure you all make it back in one piece, otherwise Tsunade might just kill me." 2 weeks later, Kiri. "Did you hear? The Hokage is going to fight in the next battle with us," shouted one of the bloodline faction. "Yay. According to what I've heard, he has the highest kill count on our side, even more than Mei-sama or Ao-sama," commented another. "Not to mention the other 6 with him." Sharingan Kakashi, the green beast might guy, Asuma the buzzsaw Saratobi, Shizune of the poison mist, Itachi the Genjutsu master Uchiha, and even the demon of the leaf Zabuza Momochi. Hear that, Gaki? We're famous, laughed Zabuza. I don't really care for fame, it takes away the element of surprise. Hey Mei-chan, from the look of this, they're going to try to wipe us out one base at a time. Stated Naruto, looking at the strategic layout of the troops. Yes, but we should be able to hold them off till the heavy hitters get back to 100%. Stated Mei. Naruto nodded. Shizune, how long till Guy and Asuma are healed, and what's Itachi's status? Guy is still recovering from going up to 6 gates, but should be ready in 2 or 3 days. Asuma is recovering from chakra exhaustion and will be back around the same time as Guy. Itachi, however, is almost completely blind. He will need to go back to Konoha. Stated Shizune with a wince. She knew, as well as everyone else, that Itachi was one of the strongest in the world, but that didn't help the fact that he was now blind. Shit, I knew he went overboard when he used Amaterasu. Cursed Naruto. Damn, is Sasuke battle ready yet? He's going to take Itachi's place for the rest of the battles, and they'll have to wait till we can get them both to Tsunade for the ice swap. Even with the Manjikyu, he's still a low jonin at best. He can't replace Itachi. We could get Genma and Radio, but even them together don't come close. Stated Kakashi. I know. I don't want to bring any more clan heads though, you and Itachi are already a risk. We may not be able to substitute for Itachi on the front line, but what if we bring in some backline fighters? Who are you thinking? We would need squads and good teamwork. Stated Zabuza. I got an idea. I think we have the same idea, Zabuza. I'll bring team 8, 9, and 10, along with Haku, Sasuke, and Sakura. 2 days later, battle strategy. There's way too many of them in that group, it has to be almost all of their forces. Are they really going to try to end this in one battle? Asked Ao. I don't know, but it would seem there has to be some trickery here. Last heard, they only had 9,700 troops left, and there's about 8,000 of them out there. I would say that we should attack with our best and leave the rest out to defend our border. Stated Mei. Of course their best was the Konohan Inn. I say you let Mei, Ao, me, and my squad go kill all of those assholes while you guys go around the sides and make sure they can't retreat. Stated Naruto. Everyone looked at him like he was crazy. I know you're good, hell you're amazing, but do you really think that us 9 stand a chance against 8,000 men? Questioned Ao. Well, Zabuza averages about 600 people a battle, Asuma 500, Kakashi 550, Guy 550, and Shizune about 400, so there's about 2,600. And I still have a few tricks up my sleeve, so I can probably get, let's say 3,500. So if your people can get 2,000 combined from the sides and back, then yay, I think we can. Stated Naruto. Plus let's not forget that we have the Konoha 11 here. Put one squad to his side, and they can handle their fair share of the fighting. Next day, Great Plains of Kiri. I'm not sure about this. What if Naruto-kun can't handle this? I mean, yay, he beat Gaara, but this is like 10,000 people, stated Ino. Troublesome. My old man says that Naruto has a confirmed kill count of about 15,000 in 2 weeks. I'm sure he'll be fine. He's not the youngest Kage ever for nothing. Stated Shikamaru. My father has informed me that Gaara-san has become Kazekage, making him the youngest ever Kage. Though I'm sure that Naruto-san is stronger than Gaara-san. Stated Shino. Would all Konoha ninja please report to the Hokage tent? With Naruto. No, for the last time, I would not pull out. Shouted Naruto. So you'd rather stay in than pull out? Questioned Zabuza. Yes, it's going to be way too much fun for me to pull out. Stated Naruto. Even if you run out of steam? Questioned Kakashi. Hello? I'm Naruto, the human stamina generator. You really think I would run out of steam? Outside the tent. Ino, Haku, Sakura, Tenten, and Hinata were all blushing furiously, and the guys were no better. I wonder if Gaara-kun has that kind of stamina, questioned Hinata, though thankfully it was quiet enough to where only Shino heard it. Hinata? Can you use your Byakugan to see how big he is? Questioned Ino. All the other girls looked at Hinata. Hinata did, as asked. After all Hyuga were perverts, even Niji had a copy or two of Jiraiya's book. Hinata activated her Byakugan and looked for Naruto, only to gasp and look terrified. So? Is he small or big? Questioned Ino. 11, easily 11, and with that, she passed out, still standing on her feet. Well, then, at least my boy isn't too far behind. stated Haku, getting a blush from Sasuke. Suddenly, the flap of the tent flew open, and Zabuza's head poked out. If you all are done literally comparing dick sizes, he glared at Sasuke, then get your asses in here. The strategy meeting is going to start as soon as Ao and Mei get here. They all rushed into the tent, Sasuke hoping that Zabuza hadn't heard Haku's comment. Good, you're all here. And now that we're done discussing my battle plan, stated Naruto, you will all be split up into your original teams, with Haku going with Sasuke and Sakura. The highest ranking member of each team will be the leader, so Neji, Haku, Shikamaru, and Shino. Each group will be paired with a Kiri squad, and you will accept every order they give. The leader, as always, Naruto-kun. I'm surprised you'd start without me, though with your reputation, I'm willing to let it slide. Stated Mei, as she and Ao walked into the room. Just filling in the blanks with my ninja, you know I never go in without a backup plan. Stated Naruto with a wink. If you two are done flirting, may we please get to battle assignments? Asked Ao with a sigh. They had been flirting since they got there. He thought they would make a good couple, now was hardly the time. Love to, alright, as I said before, each team will go with a Kiri squad. I've requested that no one enter the battle until I give the signal. I'm going to be using several jutsu that are widespread, and I don't want anyone entering battle until I signal. If they retreat towards you, then feel free to kill them. With bloodline haters. I don't know about this. I heard that Konoha Nin are all there for this battle. Stated a shorter man. Who cares? We have 4 times the amount of soldiers. Stated General Tanamaru, a large man with dark brown hair and a goatee. He was the highest ranking man left on the anti-bloodline side. He was the general of the whole army under Yagura, and when Yagura went missing all those weeks ago, he became the temporary leader of Kiri, though that didn't change anything. What about the Hokage? He's killed almost 2,000 men in a battle the last week and a half. He's a sage, and he can use the Hiraishin that made his father famous, and he's ranked SS in Iwa and Odo. Asked another nameless ninja. It's all hype, I doubt any man is that great, plus this kid is, at most, 14 years old. Besides, no man can stand against an army. 4 hours later, start of battle. The anti-bloodline army was marching toward the bloodline supporters, extremely confident in their victory in the upcoming battle. After all, they had 4 times the amount of soldiers that the enemy had, and they had been informed that the man that had been slaughtering them the last week and a half wasn't as great as they had all heard. Though anyone that had survived an encounter with the Biju killer of Konoha knew that he really was that good, whether it be Tai, Nin, Ken or even Genjutsu, he was head and shoulders better than anything they had ever seen. While the anti-bloodliners were all lying in wait behind one of the natural hills, slowly moving out from behind the natural bunkers and around the sides of the incoming army, Naruto, Zabuza, Kakashi, Asuma, Gai, Mei, Tsunade, Shizune, and Ao. How much longer until they're in position? Questioned Naruto. He was getting antsy, he hated the pre-battle jitters. About 10 minutes, though from the plan you've given you can begin in about 8. Stated Ao. Naruto nodded. Are you all ready? I need every one of you to execute perfectly for all this to work. Stated Naruto. Yay, we're ready, though are you sure that you only need 7 points to attack from? Asked Kakashi. Just let the Gaki work, Kakashi, you know, as well as I do, that he thinks 50 moves ahead. He's got this. Stated Zabuza. Well, I for one like this plan of attack, plus he's funneling anyone who retreats into our forces, and anyone dumb enough to stay will be fighting a battle on at least 5 fronts. Stated Tsunade, who had taken Itachi's spot, as she was above average at Genjutsu and was able to heal anyone that got too messed up. You're clear to start, they're all in position. Good luck, sir, you're going to need it. Stated Ao, muttering the last part under his breath. In my day. Alright, throw M, commanded Naruto. Mei, Tsunade, Zabuza, Kakashi, Asuma, Ao, and Gai all chucked a Hiraishin kunai over the hill and into the crowd of anti-bloodliners. They landed in a hexagon pattern around the enemy ninja and one in the middle. Let's do this. On the mountains above the Great Kiri Plains. Lord Orochimaru, should we help the bloodline supporters? It would help us get more test subjects. Asked Kabuto. No, we have enough for now, besides, we're here to scout just how strong that brat is. This way, if he's weak after the battle I can strike then, or he's still strong after the battle, I can still see what his skills are and how to counter them. Stated Orochimaru. As you wish, master, though I still believe that you could kill him now. He may be strong, but you are a Sannin. stated Kabuto. Be that as it may, he is in fact stronger, he even knows that damn Sage mode that my idiot teammate Jiraiya uses. And my snake summons won't allow me to learn to use it. Battlefield. Two Narutos appeared in a flash of orange on the opposite side of the approaching army of bloodline haters, both his Sage mode and Dōjutsu already active, and Kyuubi chakra waiting in reserve. Both Narutos flashed through a set of hand seals and shouted out a jutsu. Fire style. Incineration wave. Yelled the first Naruto as he threw a giant wall of blue hot fire in a wide sweeping arch, creating a literal wall of inferno that covered about 300 feet across. Wind style. Blades of the Wind God, yelled the next Naruto. He swiped each hand horizontally across his body, causing 10 giant blades of wind to launch from his fingertips. The blades of wind flew towards the wall of fire and then combined with it, causing the already blue-hot towering wall of flames to engorge and expand rapidly, engulfing a good 600 feet across and 100 feet deep of pure hellacious fire, not even taking into account the still-moving wind blades that continued through the wall of fire, slicing anything they crossed. The heat from the inferno literally cooked everything within 500 feet of it. Thankfully, Naruto had already moved to the next spot. With Team 10. Holy shit, yelled Shikamaru, shielding his face from the heat of the 2S ranked jutsu combining together. Holy shit is right. I've never seen a jutsu collaboration so strong, shouted Kirinin. Such power started the amazed Ino. With Naruto in front of the now restarting bloodline haters. The two Narutos appeared again, and just like before, went through a string of hand signs. Water style. Almighty Tsunami called the first clone, who continued to collect all the water. Lightning style. Wrath of the Thunder God, yelled Naruto as he shot 2 beams of lightning, one out of each palm, at the wall of water. The effects were immediate as the wall of water started to shock and sweep away everything in its path, killing or knocking out another 500 or so enemies. Once again, he moved on to the next spot. Team 8. Unbelievable, so far that's 4 seconds ranked jutsu in 2 collaboration jutsus. No man has the chakra to just throw out jutsu like that, stated a nameless soldier. Believe it or not, I think he may be even better with Tai, Ken, and Jinjutsu, stated Shino. Back to the slaughter. Now the enemy was retreating in 2 directions, though common sense would dictate that they should avoid going into openings. When panicked, prey would take any opening it got, which would lead most of them to slaughter. The remaining 4 exterior unused Hiraishin kunai all flashed as a Naruto appeared at each one, each Naruto staring down a flock of enemy shinobi that were trying to retreat. Raisen Cannonball. The first Naruto launched the lightning variant that either destroyed what it hit or paralyzed anything close to it. Raisen Firestorm. The second Naruto launched the fire variant, which was potentially the most dangerous, as the spinning mass in the middle would tear apart anything it touched like a literal hot knife through butter, and the huge whips of flames that came off the rotating mass would horrifically burn anyone it touched. Raisen Typhoon. The third Naruto launched the water variant. Just like the Raisen Firestorm, it would shred anyone it touched, and the whips of water coming off of it would tear and smash anyone unlucky enough to come close to it. Rasen Shuriken, Level 2. The fourth Naruto, which was the real one, threw the final Rasengan variant, which was the upgraded Rasen Shuriken. Instead of the normal 4 blades that spin counterclockwise, Level 2 had 8 blades, 4 spinning counterclockwise, 4 spinning clockwise. Anyone caught near it were instantly reduced to red mist and ribbons of what was once flesh. Each Naruto unleashed a Rasengan variant, one for lightning, fire, water, and of course, wind. The 4 easily S-ranked jutsu all decimated and traveled its way to the center of the battlefield, killing anyone unlucky enough to get caught in their path. As they met in the middle, they all combined, resulting in a veritable supernova of elemental explosion, taking up most of the field and vaporizing anything that got trapped inside, leaving a crater 500 feet deep and almost 1,000 feet across. With Mei, Zabuza, Kakashi, Ect. Such overwhelming power, stated Ao, who had to actually turn his Byakugan transplant off so as to not be blinded. No way was Asuma's intelligent answer. The others weren't faring well either, as medics, both Shizune and Tsunade had a strange mixture of disgust and awe on their faces, disgust from the mass loss of life, awe from the perfectly controlled chaos of what the young blonde had just done. So I'm willing to bet that even all of us combined don't stand a chance against him, stated Zabuza. Everyone just dumbly nodded. Seems the great yellow flash has just been surpassed. With Orochimaru. Lord Orochimaru, what was that? It was so powerful, so destructive. How can he have such a high affinity for 4 elements? Even Kakashi isn't that good, questioned Kabuto. Orochimaru just grit his teeth. So much power, and I can't have it. I will kill you Namikaze, then I will burn Konoha to the ground to keep the power you found away from me. Above the battlefield. An aerial eye view of the battlefield as the smoke, chunks of floating everything, and the general chaos of what the blonde had done slowly came into view for everyone standing and watching from the hills. Hell. Literal hell on earth was the only way to describe what they were looking at. The massive army of almost 8,000 was now no more than 2,100. Broken, burned, twitching bodies lay upon the ground, literally turning it into an open grave. The crater in the center of the field was slowly filling with groundwater. The cries of agony and pain was all that was heard when the dust finally settled. One man, to some, a monster, something even worse than a demon, was standing tall. His whole outfit was still as pristine as the second he entered battle. The man, who many were now thinking was more god than man, was standing tall, splash sword in his right hand, his claymore in his left hand, and the Nadachi in his teeth. Senju style. Infinite Darkness Jutsu. Uzumaki style. Tri-Blade Symphony. Shouted the muffled voice of Naruto as he started to glow red with Kyuubi chakra, about a tael's worth, though not for any physical boost he may have needed. It was needed for him to stave off chakra exhaustion or the damage that 8 consecutive S-ranked jutsu, 6 of which were Kenjutsu, did to his arms and mouth. In a nanosecond, every ninja, friend or foe, lost their vision and their sense of balance. It wasn't long before all the Konoha ninja and several of the more experienced Kirinins dispelled the mass Genjutsu, only to hear what sounded like thousands of bombs per second going off on the battlefield. They all looked to see Naruto dancing his way through the remaining shinobi at speeds that even most jonin could not comprehend. With Mei, Kakashi, Zabuza, Ect. So the Gaki finally finished it, about time. Tsunade-sama, he's going to need your skills when he finishes that technique. Stated Zabuza. Naruto had asked him for a 3-sword style. Why is that? And what exactly is he doing? Asked Mei, worry evident in her voice. He's channeling Kyuubi's chakra, from what I can tell, about 2 taels worth, but just like last time, the sage chakra is counteracting it. Stated Ao. Well, that too. But the Kenjutsu move he's using is called Tri-Blade Symphony. Those explosions you're hearing are not the splash sword. He's pumping huge amounts of chakra to his arms, chest, and legs to increase his speed. Every slash or stab he makes is breaking the sound barrier, resulting in a sonic boom. Stated Zabuza, pride and awe evident in his voice. Good lord, does this kid have a weakness? Questioned Ao. Yay, ramen. With Naruto. Everyone was slowing down, everyone, but him. He saw everything at half speed, and he moved at double what he should have. His arms and legs felt like they were going to explode. He felt sick, both from the speed he was moving and the amount of death he was causing. His eyes held a familiar pain that he linked to his eyes unlocking another level, though for whatever reason, the more his eyes hurt, the slower everything became. But he knew he couldn't stop. He knew, the second he stopped, he would die. He had no time to give the signal for Asuma to drop the kunai so that Naruto could flash to safety. He had been pulling more and more Kyuubi chakra, both to heal his rapidly shredding muscles and supply the very same muscles with the chakra needed to keep up his dance of death. He finally found an opening to give the signal, which thankfully Asuma caught, and then activated the Horatian seal on the kunai he had been given. Naruto flashed out of the center of the battlefield, finally cutting off Kyuubi's chakra and giving the darkness that had been bordering on the edge of his vision. Minato-kun, it's time to go, I've let you stay long enough. Minato smiled from inside the seal. You just put me to shame, son. You are now the greatest to ever hold the name Namikaze, and I couldn't be more proud. My job here is done. I am sorry I have to leave you now, but I can no longer stay. I love you Naruto, and I always will. Goodbye my son, please continue to make me proud, and if you get the chance, listen to your motormouth mother. She will help you more than I ever could. Thanks for watching my video, leave a like if you enjoyed my video, and also do consider subscribing to my channel for more awesome content. If you want the next part of this story, let me know in the comment box. See you next time, till then sayonara.